Hi, I'm Cyrondys Jackson Springer, and thank you again for joining us for Be Birmingham, a segment here on the Alabama Way on Ion Television. I have joining me today Ms. Tricia Powell-Crane with the Alabama School Connection, or ASC as we can call it. Is that okay during this interview? And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I know that we are actually kind of winding down the school year. Parents are, and kids, and you have the graduations coming up. But Alabama School Connection is a blog where parents or anyone who is focused on education can go and find different information about education. So you tell me, what is the purpose that your blog is serving?
The Alabama School Connection, the idea behind it was to help parents and families find information about what's going on at the state level. I think many of us get sort of siloed into our own schools or our school systems, and we don't really understand how much is happening that is directing the activities that ends up dictating what's going on in our classrooms. So it was my hope to put this information in front of people as these decisions are being considered, as these decisions are being made at the state level, so that they will have an opportunity to comment, to share their thoughts before these decisions are fully implemented. Often we don't find out until after the decisions are made and after millions of dollars have been spent to implement something.
So tell me, Trish, what brought you to the point to create this blog? Because what you just said, if you are a parent or someone who is just interested in public education or education period, you do have a difficult time trying to navigate through certain situations and circumstances, especially if you want to find out, well, how's the school performing?
Exactly.
If I'm interested in moving, well, what is this district like?
Exactly.
So what brought you to the point of creating the blog?
Well, it goes back a number of years. I was very interested in my local school district, and I found that there was just an absence of information available online. This was 2004, 2005. The internet was there, obviously, but there was no Facebook, and there weren't a lot of the social media tools that are available now. I started a website, actually ran a nonprofit with other people in my city school district in order to share this kind of information, and I found that people were really hungry for it. I had worked to convince, and I think did so to convince our city school district that it would be better off if they posted this information. This is their information. I think that city school districts, county school districts should post their own information. They should tell us how to enroll our children. They should tell us what their discipline situation is. They should tell us what their test scores are overall. They should tell us what their school bell hours are. Is this a school that gets in at 7:15 and gets out at 2:30? Back then, those simple pieces of information were not online. Move forward to where we are now. My son graduated from that school district, and in 2009, the Alabama School Connection website was created just as a place to house information on what sorts of legislature were being considered at the state level, because there was nothing out there for parents to look at. Special interest groups had their methods to look at this, but we didn't have it, and I volunteered to create this little bill tracker site. And then January of last year, I really began to understand the void of information coming from the state. We have been hampered by our, further at the end of last year, by our daily newspapers going to a 3-day-a-week transmission, and it just became, it's very difficult to find out what the State Board of Education is doing and how their decisions impact us, because they do impact us. Oftentimes the information will water its way down to the district and then it stops there. And I don't think that it is a lack of desire to share the information. I think that we parents and families have to show an interest, and we have to be willing to step to the table when we're asked to serve on committees or in our parent leader groups. I think that our communities of parents and families are an untapped resource in improving our schools. I think that hopefully the website, the blog, will help parents get that basic information so that they can ask the questions. Sometimes they are tough questions,
Right.
but ask the questions about how do we improve our schools? How do we make things better? There's always room for improvement.
You know, parents are always looking for information, whether you mentioned it's at the local level with their local school, or showing up for a PTA or PTO meeting, or even taking time to attend the Board of Education meeting. One thing that the school districts or school systems will talk about is we need increased parental involvement. Something that parents say, on the other hand, is we need more information.
Exactly.
How important is it to bridge those two? And do you think that the Alabama School Connection, obviously that's what you all are trying to do, do you think that you have made some major hurdles in trying to bridge the different areas together?
I do believe that that's exactly right. More parental involvement, more communication. Those things are certainly intertwined. You can't have one without the other. But I do believe that the Alabama School Connection will help in that effort. I have made no large promotional campaigns. Word is still getting out that the information is available.
Right.
Exactly, that the information is available through the blog. And I hope over the summer, I hope to develop the Family and School Partnership Academy, which will be a simple online learning tool for parents to spend 3 minutes in front of a video learning why they might want to go to a budget hearing.
Okay.
So that they can learn some of the language and feel a little more confident when they step to the table to be involved in their children's education. I think that's a big barrier for parents, is educators, the education industry speaks one language and we speak the language of our children. And sometimes those languages don't mesh when we're across the table from each other. So I do hope that is one of the goals of the Alabama School Connection, is to enable those conversations to happen.
And while we're talking about coming to the table, one really hot topic here in the state of Alabama has been the Alabama Accountability Act that the state legislature passed a couple of months ago. A lot of people were critical about the way in which the act moved through the legislature that evening. But what are you hearing, and what are parents saying and educators saying to you? What are you hearing about this act?
Mostly what I hear is, I don't understand what it means.
Okay.
That's what I'm hearing. Ordinary parents, ordinary families don't know how it's going to apply to them.
Right.
There's still some regulations to be worked out. There's still some definitions. What is a failing school? Will children who attend private school now be eligible for the tax credits?
Right.
There's still a lot of details to be worked out. What I think is so sad that's been lost is this wonderful flexibility provision that was the original constitution of the Act, was to allow local school systems to be innovative and flexible in the way they offered education to the children in their community. So I hope that we can spend some time in our communities talking about what does that mean. I think that the tax credit and pseudo voucher program is a very small piece of this, but mostly what I hear is, I don't understand, and I don't understand it fully. It is still developing. What does it mean to our schools? How much will it cost our schools? Who will be eligible? And until we have those answers, we're still going to be asking, what does this mean?
And one of the things that parents were also very critical of is the fact that they were not brought to the table.
Yes.
There was no input. This was, I had an opportunity to talk with one of the legislators, and he mentioned, well, we wanted to do something. And so, parents were saying, we'd like to be included in that something.
That's right.
Tell us, Trish, how people can get in touch with you if they're interested in going on to the website, or even providing or having you come out and talk to their group about the ASC. How can they get in touch with you?
Okay, best way is to go to the website, alabamaschoolconnection.org.
Okay.
We have a Facebook page. It's a wonderful way to communicate. A lot of people ask questions through the Facebook page. I would love to come and share what I know and encourage others to find out more. My expertise lies in digging around and finding information, and helping others find that information as well. Yeah, anytime I'm available.
Okay. Well, we look forward to having you back. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for joining us again. If you have more information or you would like to log on and take a look at what ASC or the Alabama School Connection has to offer, find some information that is often difficult to find. I've tried looking myself, and I love the blog. Thank you. Make sure you take a look at the link down below, and we'll see you later. Thanks for joining us.